Hi, my youngest child just graduated from high school, and that was weird. I don't know how many of you are empty nesters, but we are. I was one of those people who was privileged to become a mom only because of the love of three birth mothers who entrusted me with the care of their children. I always had an acute awareness that they were not biologically mine. They weren't mine at all, but yet they were. So that was complicated all by itself. And I also knew that the birth mothers had done all the suffering. They are the ones who created the life. They are the ones who carried this little being in their body for 35 to 40 weeks. They are the ones who sought to find a safe place for their children to be. And I was the one who was fortunate to get to hold this precious child and now get to enjoy the fruits of getting to watch them grow up. Here's the deal with watching them grow up. I didn't know who they were going to be. I didn't know their personalities. I didn't ask for a specific gender. I didn't know if they would have any, health issues or mental health issues. I was just willing to accept those children as my own, and it was a treasure to get to have them as my kids. They will forever mark my life in so many different ways from week to week because that's just who they are. But the thing about adoption, as lovely as the story is, my kids didn't get to choose that. When they came into my home, what essentially happened was that they lost their entire family tree. They lost all the foods that they had known within their mama's wombs. They lost all the sounds. They lost everything. And they were transplanted into my home with different sounds and different foods and different smells and different languages sometimes. There's just so much loss that my kids experienced. And as I grew up, I tried to make sure their origin story was as loving as possible because it was so full of love. But they still didn't get to choose. I tried to create an environment where there was this garden of opportunities, of flavors and sights and sounds and stories and experiences that were enriching, where they could explore and self-discover, what they liked, what they didn't like, all that part of identity formation. That was my job as a healthy parent, but I couldn't do it for them. And ultimately, they have each had their journeys of having to explore the spiritual wounding that came with abandonment and what felt like rejection sometimes, and being different from others, and disagreeing with other people about their thoughts and their emotions and their beliefs, coming to terms with what they learned about their bodies and their body responses to experiences. That all belonged to my children. There was nothing I could do to help them with that. And so I wanted to tell you about this because spiritual wounding isn't just from church. Spiritual wounding is anything that impacts our view of our identity that is harmful. Any kind of abandonment, rejection, shaming, all those things that we grew up in all sorts of different family settings and religious settings and community settings impact how we view ourselves. Children typically believe what others say about them when they're children because they're children. They are sponges. They just take it all in. And so as adults, we have to kind of deconstruct what we have learned about ourselves because some of it was darn harmful. And so I invite you in your story to explore your spiritual wounding because I give you a path to follow towards self-love. And when you develop self-love, it is so much easier to have a healthy relationship because you know what you're worth and what the other person is worth as well. I invite you to read my book, Who Am I? A Deep Dive Through Spiritual Wounding to Identity by Kara Hudson, and that is me. I thank you for your time. We'll see you soon.